Hey all, here at OS Reviews. So a few months back, we did a review on a 13-inch portable LED monitor that has a USB Type-C port and can be conveniently folded upwards to be used kind of like a tablet of sorts and connected to a Windows computer, an Android device, and the touchscreen still is functional. It has pretty small bezels. You guys seem to like that quite a bit, so today we're taking a look at a version that has a 15-inch size instead. For better productivity, maybe for split-screen multitasking, or Xbox unit, and then game on the go. So it draws very little power. This unit here is still a touchscreen as well, so you can still interact with your fingers, and it sells for about $200, and this one here also works with mini display, so it can be connected to a MacBook as well, which is a feature that the other version did not have. So here's the packaging. The company BOSSTOUCH does also make other monitors of various other sizes, so if you think that you still want a smaller unit, or if you want one that's even larger, they do also provide those options. So inside we have just the monitor itself, we'll take a closer look at in a moment. We also have the instruction manual. Down below here we also have a stand for the monitor. So first things to observe is it doesn't have a folio case like the 13-inch model. So you still have to put it into a sleeve of your own or into your backpack. And then when you want to pop it up, you have to use this kickstand, which basically pops open like so, and you pull the plastic down. There's two angles that you can adjust, and from here you can pop this other edge down, and then you can put the display here and acts as a kickstand. So it's something that takes a bit more of a setup, not quite as fast as a folio built-in kickstand, but otherwise still is functional. Here's a mini display cable used for MacBooks that's included. We have a USB Type-C to Type-C cable, which is probably for plugging in a smartphone and you want to mirror your display from your phone or tablet. We've also got a USB Type-C to USB cable. This is for providing power to the monitor. And we also have a HDMI cable that plugs into the full-size HDMI port of any standard laptop or gaming console. Now, interestingly, there is actually what looks like a micro HDMI port on the other side, as opposed to a full-sized plug on both ends, and that's because on the monitor they're actually using a micro HDMI input as opposed to a full-sized, which is kind of untraditional for a monitor, but you can see here on the edge, this is indeed smaller than that full-sized plug. Speaking of, let's take a closer look at the monitor next. We do have a plastic construction on the front, and then on the back it is a brushed aluminum. So it does feel pretty nicely put together. However, it is surprisingly lightweight. On the side here, we do have a power key. The keys themselves are pretty flush with the surface of the unit, but still is tactile enough to press down. Let's say compared to the 13-inch portable monitor that we reviewed, I would say that the dimensions are roughly the same in terms of the thickness. Overall, the design is clean, but the bezels are a little bit larger on the front, as you can see here, than on the 13-inch monitor, which has nearly invisible bezels on the top and the left and right edges. But it does mean that you can actually hold it with your hands a bit more easily if you do want to use it kind of like a large tablet of sorts. Now, a quick demo, first using our smartphone with the USB Type-C. We have an LED status light on the very top. And the interesting thing here is it still allows for pass-through charging even as the display is being mirrored. This is great if, say, you're giving a presentation from your phone, maybe if there's a PDF document, a Word document, or even emails that you want to edit on a larger display. You can definitely do that. Simply connect a wireless keyboard and you're ready to go. Just a few more images here. We can see that we get plenty of detail as we zoom on in. It is a pretty good display as far as viewing angles are concerned. Tilting it across the different angles, everything still looks quite good. So for things like displaying back images, for videos, it is a very impressive experience that is still, again, easy to hold because of how lightweight it is. Now with a Windows phone, which is really a relic these days, but again with Windows Continuum, we do have a desktop-like experience that we can see very similar to a Windows PC. So the included kickstand is ergonomic in the sense that it's elevated and it pushes the monitor a bit taller, and so you're looking at it more head-on, which is a bit more comfortable for your neck. You don't have to really bend down. With that being said, it definitely isn't something that's quite as easy to use on your lap, for example, as on the folio case, if you are talking about 100% true portability. So I can tap on the display monitor here, and you can see everything is still fully responsive. In fact, it's very easy to use. Very light touches are registered without any problems, and I can just use it just like on a large tablet for reading back news articles, for doing things like browsing the web, again, playing back games, using the touchscreen display. In fact, here's YouTube, and if we wanted to, we can simply tap on, let's say, our channel and try searching it up. We are using the Edge browser right now, and the video plays back very smoothly. And of course, we can load back the resolution all the way up to full HD if we wanted to, and really enjoy the experience here. Now, something to quickly keep in mind here is that the monitor does not have built-in speakers of its own. So even though right now the sound here is actually turned on, and if we turn up the kind of volume rocker on the phone here, you can hear there's no sound coming out. So you do want to use, again, the headphone jack to connect to your own headphones or even speakers if you do want to, again, play back and watch movies. And overall, it makes for an enjoyable watching and media consuming experience. Now, the monitor does support multi-touch and other pinch to zoom gestures as well, just by using the gesture of pinching. So everything is fully functional. So here we have a Chromebook plugged in. I've actually closed the lid, but you can see that it's displaying the image here, the desktop, without any problems. But one thing to keep in mind is if you do want the touch function to work for the Chromebook or for a Windows computer, you also need to plug in a USB cable, so USB to Type-C. So the HDMI part is only for the monitor of the display, and then the touch part still needs to be plugged in for USB to provide that driver. Now, what I'm able to do here is I can actually tap on the side controls if I want to change some of the profiles. For example, the image, I can change the brightness, the saturation, the sharpness, the aspect ratio. There's also a blue light mode, which is essentially like a reading or a nighttime mode, very similar to on our phones. It turns off the blue light to try to make it easier on your eyes and help you fall asleep more. So there's actually a built-in mode there, which is actually kind of cool, which is why the image here looks very yellowish if you're looking closely right now, is because the blue light function is right now turned on. But if I wanted to, I can also turn it off. This is the middle mode and this is the low. So turning it all the way off, we can have the most kind of natural looking image. We've got a few preset profiles for colors, including the standard mode. This is the game mode. It looks a little pale to my eyes, but maybe it's a little easier on your eyes and makes it less straining for long-term gaming. And there's also a movie mode, which is a bit more contrasty. The photo mode also looks again, slightly better in terms of the contrast, and then the vivid mode just really punches everything up. We're even able to fine adjust the gamma as well as the temperature of the monitor to make it cooler or warmer, and you can see how the RGB balance actually will shift as you change the color temperature. So that's more or less it as far as our hands-on review of this BOSSTOUCH 15.6-inch touchscreen portable LED monitor. Overall, I think that for about $200, it's a decent portable solution if you do want something that's ultra slim and lightweight. With that being said, if you don't need necessarily a portable solution, there are definitely more cheaper alternatives on the market. As aforementioned, I would like to see the addition of a full-sized HDMI port directly on a monitor, or even a second one, because there is space available. But all in all, I think that the overall construction, the overall concept of a portable touchscreen monitor is pretty cool, and the execution here is actually surprisingly good as far as the display quality and the touch sensitivity are concerned. Both are actually doing a very good job. So if you are looking for a 15.6-inch portable touchscreen monitor, again, for your smartphone, for your laptop, for productivity, for entertainment, all of the above, this is actually a decent option to take a closer look at. Lastly, I'll point out that even though we have the USB port plugged into the wall right now, of course you can just power the monitor using the USB port on your computer as well, or you can plug it into a power bank and that will supply enough juice to turn the monitor on. So if interested, you can learn more details in the links down below, but for now that's been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. That's been the BOSSTOUCH 15.6-inch touchscreen LED portable monitor.